Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of 8 Bit by Bit, the podcast where we play games in bite-sized chunks, and then come together and have a chat about them. At the moment, we're playing Breath of the Wild, the first game of the podcast, and I'm joined with the wonderful Leem. Hey, Leem.
Hello.
That smile looked like you were caught in headlights. You're just like...
She said lovely. What's
sorry.
that about?
This absolute twat, Leem.
That's better. Perfect.
This is what you want.
I love.
You're right.
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I've had, it's been an interesting week. I've had lots going on at work. And then I've had a weekend where I was going to relax lots and ended up drinking lots. A lot of it with you, in fact. So that's fun. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, apart from the lack of sleep, as per usual, but I'm thriving nonetheless.
Sure. So you went to bed, you said you went to bed at 3 a.m. last night.
Well, I was in bed.
Right.
At some point during 3 a.m.
At some point during 3 a.m.
I don't know what time exactly, but...
Right.
But I was on my phone. Yeah, I was watching TikTok for a while.
How long?
I was that Sarah Paulson meme in bed smiling on my phone, literally, because I was like tipsy as well.
Oh god!
So it was like a real moment.
Oh god!
But I'm good. Apart from that, yeah.
Does that meme have cats surrounded? I assume you're surrounded by cats as well at the same time.
No, she's just in bed, like wrapped up, all snug.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Well, you need to create another meme. Next time you're wasting your life away in bed on TikTok at 3 a.m., I expect pictures.
I'll just make myself a meme, like
please
post it on the internet. Yeah,
please. That's how memes. I mean, that's how memes become a thing.
Obviously. I mean, it kind of is. Yeah.
Anyway, we're recording episode 4. We're almost halfway through this incredible journey. So we've broken down Breath of the Wild into 10. I know how to do maths. 10 episodes. And yeah, we're on number 4. So after we recorded this, we'll be after we recorded the next one, technically we'll be halfway through, but still. And I feel like we're making good progress. So far, we have done obviously the opening of the game. Let me get the list up. We've done the opening of the game. We've done a journey to Kakariko Village. We then journeyed to Zora's Domain, and the less I remember about that, the better. And we prepped for the first Divine Beast. We did the Divine Beast, whose name I can't remember.
Laruta.
Thank you. And then we traveled south and did Eventide Island. And that was last episode, which wasn't too bad. I thought that was going to be a bit of a nightmare, but it wasn't too bad, actually. I think I did pretty well. Third try. Yeah. That's pretty good.
You slayed. Yeah.
Thank you. I know. I had a lot of people that was like, third try is pretty good. For like your first time playing the game, third try on that island as well, because we weren't that far through. I think at the time we still only had like 4 hearts as well.
Yeah. It was like super early. Yeah.
So hair swish, I did pretty fucking good. And I'm happy. And then Lean did good too, but he's played the game before, so it's not that impressive.
Doesn't really count. Yeah.
Doesn't really count. So we just pretend. That I'm better than him. But now for episode 4, for the 4th leg of the journey, we're traveling west. So from Eventide Island, and wait a second, let me get the map up because there's a name of that place. So we kind of went south a bit as well. So there was the Hadno Tower area that I've kind of included in this, because it's kind of the same area. Because Eventide Island is technically part of the Farron Tower map zone, even though I don't think it should be.
Yeah.
Looking at the map, it looks really weird that they've like separated it like that. Because Eventide Island is like where the Hadno Tower map section is, but for some reason they've cut it all the way around. So
the towers like that you unlock from maps aren't like central to their chunks of the map. So like the Farron Tower is like almost on the border of like the next part of the map, but it also covers Eventide. It's really weird.
Because I think I mentioned in the last episode, like I still hadn't, even though we'd been in that area and I'd done Eventide and I'd done a bunch of the shrines in that area too, I hadn't found the tower still. Like I was still running around blind a little bit because I hadn't unlocked that area, because I didn't know what the tower was. As you say, it's not until the tower you're like literally making your way almost into the next area that you come across the tower, which is a little bit weird. But it is what it is, I suppose. Weast. Well done. Thanks, Brian.
My favorite direction, West.
Weast.
West.
So yeah, so that's kind of where we're starting this episode. And since we're just kind of making our way to Gerudo Town, there's not a lot of like, I mean, obviously there's stuff to do between here and Gerudo. It's the whole bottom half of the map, bottom third of the map. So there's quite a lot to do, but at the same time, there's no like specific landmarks necessarily that we're like aiming for. So this potentially could be quite an open episode of just the random crap that we got up to. But I know that we covered a bit of it in last episode. We're going to cover the Farron Tower map zone a bit because there were some bits and bobs did there. I have a bit of backtracking that I need to go over as well because I did some backtracking in this leg of the journey that I thought is pretty worthwhile mentioning. And then we'll do Lake Tower and then the Wasteland Tower area as well. We keep talking about Gerudo Town. It's worth noting that Gerudo Town is in the Wasteland Tower area, not in the Gerudo Tower area. The Gerudo Tower is slightly north of Gerudo Town and covers a different part of the map. Again, not entirely sure why. Very confusing, but that's it. That's the thing.
It's just to throw us off, really.
I don't understand. Honestly, the more map that I unlock, the more I'm a bit like, what was going through their minds kind of thing when they were divvying up this map. I'm sure there are like potentially like reasons as to why they did it. I'm sure, but at the same time, I don't quite know. Because, wait a second, I'm loading the game real quick because I want to check something. Although it's taken forever to load. Come on, Breath of the Wild. Here we go. So, in the section we just got to, I am skipping ahead ever so slightly, but in the section we just got to, in the Wasteland Tower zone, the map kind of, like, there's a part of it that just like breaks into the map above and almost like cuts it in half, which makes no sense. Like, I'm like, why have they broken out the map like that? It's so bizarre. And maybe I'll understand that when I get to it, but it just at the moment for having the map, it just looks really, really odd. Really odd.
I don't even think I feel like the map separation is just random. I don't think it really attributes to like the way you're supposed to play.
That's a good point as well. Yeah, because they don't have like there's no like, oh, do everything in this part of the map kind of thing, is there? It just, as you get the towers, it opens up. It just gives you a map kind of thing. So yeah, it's odd. It's odd, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So we finish on Eventide Island. That's where we finished last time. And I suppose our journey starts from there. Is there anything, Leem, that you did specifically straight away from Eventide?
Well, so straight from Eventide, I made my goal to unlock the map.
That's fair.
Because I hated the map being covered up and blocked out. So that was my main goal. But along the way, I also got distracted a lot with all sorts of things.
Okay.
But my main goal was getting the tower, and then after the tower, it was exploring this new map segment before heading towards the Wastelands Tower to get that part as well.
Okay.
Before the desert, it's because basically the Wasteland Tower is like very on the very edge of the desert before next week's episode. So yeah, I like this area of the map first and foremost. I really enjoy like the vibe of the tower in the like jungle, I guess. The Farron Tower
got like a beachy jungle vibe. This part of the map, which is actually kind of. I suppose obviously we've been romping around like the beginning parts, but everything has been very open and plainsy so far, and I was kind of ready to just be like, okay, this is what the game is. But it was kind of nice to see a bit of a terrain change, essentially.
Yeah, it's a nice environment change. The downside to it is this area has lots of rainfall. Obviously, rainfall is our biggest like weakness in general. It's awful. Hate it.
Why is it?
Why is it in the game? Question mark.
Honestly,
Yeah,
why? Why is it in the game?
it's
I hate
silly.
it.
I was thinking as well because they've got like the different gear sets, right? I was
Mm.
like wondering why didn't they add like the ability to climb without slipping down to like the climbing gear. The climbing gear increases your speed of climbing.
That would have been
But
nice.
like even just to like add that, because people hate it.
Hmm.
I know we've spoken about it before, but it's such a annoying thing.
Even if it was on like the Zora armor, the one that like makes you swim faster and you can climb up waterfalls. Like I can understand them maybe not wanting to
Yeah.
combine like not slipping and faster climbing speed because that might be a little bit not overpowered because that's the wrong term, but that might have been they might have felt that was a bit unbalanced. But if they had added like the benefit of not slipping whilst climbing to the Zora armor, which is all about water, that would have been good. That would have been
Yeah.
nice, but.
Um, but I think I got quite a lot of Korok seeds on this episode, by the way.
Oh god.
Um, I've so basically I found a map, an interactive map that I don't refer to when I'm playing,
Here we
but
go. Sure.
I know I promise I haven't, but
Well,
I'm referring
you
to
almost
it.
cheated last week. You absolutely didn't, but you almost cheated last week. So I
I
don't
did not
fucking trust
cheat.
you.
Um, but I'm looking at like the map now. I missed a lot of seeds. It's ridiculous how many seeds are on the map when you look at it. Like
I
I
don't want
walked
to look at
past
it.
hundreds.
I don't want to look
If
at
you
it.
look, you'll feel sad. You will
Yeah.
feel sad if you look at it. Um,
There are
but
moments in this game that I'm running through like open, empty plains. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I know there's shit to do here. I know there is, but like at a glance, it's just big, open, empty field.
Yeah.
So I don't want to look at maps. I don't want to do that.
I'm ready for the next encounter with Hatsu. Hetsu? Hetsu.
Hetsu,
Yeah.
yes. We didn't
So yeah,
actually. We said we were going to have a chat about where he appears next, and we never did.
we didn't. Yeah, we didn't.
We should do that right now. Let's just do it right now. Wait a second. Hetsu locations. Hetsu locations.
I mean, for just like an easier playthrough and a more enjoyable playthrough, I think that might be quite nice to unlock some
Yeah.
more
So
slots.
at the first time, he appears at the Dueling Peaks Tower, which is where we found him the first time. Sure. Hetsu's next location will be at the first stable you visit after he moves on from the road to Kakariko Village. Okay, so that's
Oh,
we just found him at the next one.
yeah. Okay.
And then oh,
Is it quite far north?
the next time you find him is in the Korok Forest. I don't know where that is.
Okay, the Korok Forest is the Great Hyrule Forest.
Right.
Which isn't until episode 7.
Okay. Okay. That might be a little bit of a problem.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think we necessarily need to unlock more slots.
I'll be honest, I'm not having a slot problem at the moment, which is
Okay.
what she said. But I like having weapons and stuff. I feel like I'm like destroying them faster than I'm collecting them. So maybe we'll be okay. Maybe we evaluate this every episode.
We can see how we go.
7.
Yeah.
And then if we feel like it's a bit of a problem, then we can maybe take a slight detour to Korok Forest and then.
Yeah, I think if we're able to get through episode 5 with the camel beast,
we'll be fine. Yeah.
I think we should be fine. Let's see how we go. Yeah.
We didn't think this through, everyone. Okay, so I don't know the map very well, and
I had forgotten the map.
Leem forgot the map, and despite the fact we did have like a chat before we started recording, and I was like, "Is there anything else we need to know after we divvied the map up?" He said no, so I'm blaming this one on you again.
I'll take it.
Good.
I'll take it.
Brilliant. I'm loving not being like the good one at the game because it means I can literally just be like, "Well, this is all your fault."
Just really. Pop it all off on me. Yeah.
Literally. It's great.
So what was your goal?
My goal from Eventide was, as I said, so just before Eventide, I'd already gotten a couple of the shrines in that new Farron Tower area. And then my goal was to do the same. I was like, I need to unlock the tower and I need to figure out like what else there is to do in this area. So I went to Lurelin Village, which is really cute. Also, I got told something about Lurelin Village. Wait a second.
That's like the coastal one, isn't it?
It is. It's the coastal one right at the bottom of the Farron Tower area. It's like a little Easter egg. Wait a second. Okay, so Lurelin Island has the exact same layout as Outset Island, which is from Wind Waker.
Okay. So they've tried to like, okay.
Yeah, if you look at like Lurelin Village from the top down, it's like literal layout where the houses are, everything is identical to Outset Island. So people are wondering if there's like a connection there potentially.
Maybe because there's a bridge which is called it's the bridge that goes across Lake Hylia.
Yes.
That bridge, I don't know if it is for sure, but whenever I see that bridge, it reminds me of Twilight Princess. There's like an opening scene in Twilight Princess which includes like a bridge and like horse riding, and I get that vibe from that. So maybe, I mean, I'm assuming all the games are on the same like map and world, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
Of like Hyrule.
Have you seen the Zelda timeline?
I have not. No.
That is a fucking wild ride, let me tell you.
As in, is it messy and doesn't make sense, or?
Oh, it's messy as fuck. I think if you analyze it properly enough, it probably makes sense. But like genuinely, if you try and look over it, it is at one point, I think at the end or during Ocarina of Time, the timeline splits 3 different ways, and then there are different games on different parts of the timeline. It's very confusing. Yes. And then apparently Breath of the Wild isn't on any of those timelines, but it is like the most recent game in terms of timeline. And apparently like there's a theory that all the 3 timelines merge back into one, and like Breath of the Wild is an amalgamation of all the different timelines.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. And I tried to kind of understand it because I was like, I have the Hyrule Historia Hyrule, whatever it's called. I have it literally down there. And the timeline's in it. And I was reading it the other day, and it was intense. It was intense.
Interesting. So, okay.
Yeah. But hey, maybe this is, there are parts of this. The thing about Wind Waker is that the world gets flooded in Wind Waker, right? That's the whole point of the game, I believe.
I have no idea.
Okay. I think I'm trying to quickly synopsis. Here we go. Set hundreds of years after the events of Ocarina of Time, the Wind Waker finds the hero Link in a sea scattered with 49 islands, which necessitates frequent sailing and naval combat. And that's what
naval combat.
Naval combat.
It all comes back to Sea of Thieves.
It does all come back to Sea.
Everything does. Oh my god.
You need to somehow get Link references into your Sea of Thieves boat.
Yeah.
Which I can't do anymore.
So that's set hundreds of. Oh yeah, yours is what's yours again?
Named Kay's Boiled Beef is what my boat is named. So
it's a beautiful name.
Beautiful name. Sorry, go on.
Wait, is Link in a constant state of like cryosleep? Why is he always traveling through like hundreds of years? And
I don't think he's in a constant state of cryosleep. I think like he is, like there are different versions of Link through time, and he is like a reincarnation of him. I think Breath of the Wild is the first time that he's literally been put into cryosleep to be like reanimated later. But I'm almost certain that Link is like a recurring.
So like it is like a multiverse sort of moment.
No, because it's definitely like time passes. Right. But the one that you play is just it just happens to be the Link of whatever time period you're playing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
My brain is attempting to understand. It's struggling.
I could also be talking out of my ass, but like it has to be as well, right? Because some games you play like a child Link, and some games you play like a more adult Link. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it can't be the same one. Although, as we found out in last episode, there is age reversing technology in this world. So
with Pura, yeah,
maybe,
whatever her name is.
I don't know.
There's too many names. There's
Yeah,
Impa. They're sisters, by the way. Did you know that? I learned that this
Impa
week.
and Pura are sisters.
They're sisters. Yeah.
Didn't know that. Didn't
There you
know
go.
that.
The more you know.
The more you know. What diary did you read that in?
It was dialogue that I read. Can you believe?
I
I actually paid attention
don't.
because I'll talk about this because I did something back at Kakariko Village, so I'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay. We'll talk
Something
about
that you might be quite interested in.
Me explaining my university Ho era version of me, just different versions of me through time and the reincarnations of him. Exactly. This is it. Exactly. D. There is definitely. I'm trying to like. Yeah, so I'm looking at a wiki. I'm looking at the Zelda wiki because why not? And I'm trying not to spoil myself. But it does. They call him iterations of Link that appear through the games. So they do refer to him as different iterations. He's not the same person.
Right. Okay.
So maybe
it's just so confusing, isn't it?
Yeah,
confusing.
I don't know. And it says that the goddess refers to like different heroes that she supported, but she always supports like Link. So she must be supporting different versions of him.
So she's obsessed with him. Is what we're learning.
Lots
of people are.
I mean,
the fish girl was.
The fish
Ganon
girl
obviously
confuses
is.
me a little bit.
Yeah.
This is good, but so is Ganon also a reincarnation? I feel like we're going down this rabbit hole a bit too much. Maybe
Ganon is in other games too. Yeah.
Due to the slumber of restoration, here we go. Due to the slumber of restoration, Link is chronologically over 100 years old in Breath of the Wild, although the slumber appears to have allowed him to retain a young biological age. In fact, he has refused service at the Noble Canteen in Gerudo Town. Oh no, spoilers. Someone stated that Link is 17 in Twilight Princess. He's 9 in Ocarina of Time and 16 as an adult. That's depressing. Fuck. So what does that make me at 33? I am geriatric. I am. I'm always double Link's age, so I must be on my fucking way out, basically. Jesus. Yeah.
Oh dear.
He's different. He's different times. Different ages, different times. Leem, you paid attention to the game. You need to play Skyward Sword. It explains it all. Does it really explain it all though? Like, does it really explain it all? I don't know if it does. I don't know. As I say,
well, okay, we're here for Breath of the Wild.
This is true. Maybe Skyward Sword we play. Have you played Skyward Sword before?
I haven't, no. I've heard that, because the remaster came out in summer of 2021, I think.
It did, yes. It did.
And I heard there was some mixed opinions about that.
I think a lot of it was compared to like people who had played the first one. Yeah.
Right.
I think as a game, if you just entered it like as of your own, I think it was fine. Maybe, okay. I don't know. Anyway, Breath of the Wild. So I think I was explaining what I was doing. Yeah, I got to the village, went through the village. There was like did you do by any chance there was like a game of chance in Lurelin Village? Did you do that?
No, okay. I don't think I did, no.
There was a guy and they had 3 pots and he was like, oh, you can like, if you pay, I think it's like you can pay 110 or 100 rupees and you can potentially double or even triple your earnings. And I did it once with 10 rupees, I think, because I wanted to see if there was a way to game it, but I don't think there is. I think it's literally just a case of pay like 10 rupees, yeah, and hope for the best kind of thing. Because I was looking at the pots to see if there was like cracks on the pots or anything. There was nothing. So I think it was just a case of try your luck. Which I did once and then realized I didn't want to waste a lot of my money, so I stopped. So I was like, no thanks, don't want to waste that because I didn't have much anyway. So yeah, so kind of breezed through Lurelin Village, did come to the shrine there, went to the Kukarnata Shrine. Is this the one? Wait a second. I just want to check on my game. This could potentially be the one that had the 3 Hinox brothers outside. Did you do that?
I did do that one.
You did do that one. I think that
where you
is
fight
that
like
one.
the young, middle, and elder one.
Yes. That is not. Sorry, no. The Kukarnata Shrine is the one where you have to get lightning to strike down onto the rock.
I've not done that one.
Ooh, I have done a shrine.
Like
you
ever.
Haven't ever.
Yeah, ever. Don't recognize that at all.
Oh, okay. So, in it's not too far from the Farron Tower, but in that area, there's a shrine called the Kukanata Shrine, and when you go there, who's the one on the accordion? What's his name?
That's
Yes,
yeah.
He is there, and he's like, oh, I've got a song for you about this area. So he sings you a song, and he says, oh, something about lightning being struck down on the mound. And then when he's finished the song, you can look around and there's a mound that has like kind of like streaks down it, like yellow streaks down it. And I was like, that's the one. So I went up there and it was very rainy and thundery in the area. Although my weather said that it was shining light, so I assume it's always thundery when you go there.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, there was a mound there, and it said you had to cool down lightning, so I shot it with a few shock arrows, and that didn't work. And then I realized that obviously if you put a metal item down and it's thundering, and then the lightning will hit the metal item. So I put a metal item on top of the shrine, and lo and behold, lightning did come down, strike it, and reveal the shrine.
Okay.
So I got that one.
Was that like en route to like the like from the village to the
literally there is a road that goes from the village. If you follow that road, then you pass the shrine.
My issue is that I don't take roads. I ignore the roads.
I was going to say to you, this is a point that I actually wrote down. I think one of my biggest problems in playing this game is that I'm following the roads far too much. Because I see a road and I'm like, follow it. But no. But you're getting way more Korok seeds because the Korok seeds aren't on the roads. Yeah. The Korok seeds are off the beaten path. And I think that's my problem. And it's something I realized halfway through this leg, especially when I got into the Lake Tower area, because the Lake Tower area doesn't really have that many roads, especially the way we're going. Like there's one that kind of goes like vertically through it. Vertically through it.
Yeah.
But there's not really horizontal. Obviously, we're going like directly through. So when I was doing that, I realized I was finding a lot more stuff. And I was like, the reason I'm finding more stuff is because I'm not on the road. I'm like exploring and I'm finding different things. So I feel like my attitude towards how I explore this game is going to change ever so slightly. Because yeah, I was finding things by not sticking to the road, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, so that shrine, got to Farron Tower.
It took me ages to find that tower, by the way.
Oh god, ages too, yeah.
Because it's like sunken down.
Yeah.
Not sunken, but like compared to the landscape around it is like quite cliffy and mountainous.
It's really not fun.
And there's just so many like higher points around it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was expecting it to be high up because it's a tower, but yeah.
Completely agree. And as we mentioned, like I spent far too long trying to find my way around this zone because I was running literally with like no map, no way to like pin things or anything like that, which I've kind of come a little bit reliant on. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that too much, especially because like the tower, the way we did it anyway, the tower is literally the last thing you find in this zone.
Yeah, literally.
It is on the border of going into the next zone. So once I found it, I was looking around and I was like, I've unlocked like, wait a second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that one in there? 6, yeah, 7, 8 shrines if you include Eventide in here. I feel like I've done enough. So I carried on. I cracked on.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention though is that before actually I did a couple of shrines, but the one thing I did do is I also backtracked to Mount Lanayru because I kind of passed it on my way through. I literally passed it as we were coming from the Varuta Divine Beast to Eventide Island. It was a big gribbly island, gribbly mountain that was cold, and you had to have cold resistance, which I didn't have at the time.
Right.
But it was huge. The area that had it was huge, and I had to go around it. So I was like, well, I'm going to come back and try it out. Did you go back to Mount the Nehru by any chance?
I've actually never been there before in any playthrough because when I last played it, I did the elephant first as well, and then I think I did the bird next, and I sort of just avoided that area. And on this playthrough, I did like enter the area briefly, and I put on my warm doublet, and I couldn't like survive, and I didn't have any hot food, and I couldn't be bothered to go back and craft some and come back because I wanted to because I know that there are other like armor sets in the game, so my idea was to come back at a later point. Honestly, this whole area is brand new to me. I've never been there before in my life. It's new content for me.
So, should I tell you what happened when I went there?
No, I don't really care. Yeah.
And that's it. Thank you for listening, everyone. Leem decided he no longer gives a shit about the podcast. No, so
wait, did you craft food for it, or did you get like other clothing? Because I so far only have like the warm t-shirt. And
no, I crafted food for it because I only have the t-shirt too. That's what I have. Well, no, I think I bought some trousers that help keep me warm as well. Maybe. Wait a second. Let me check my gear real quick. I have. Do I have? Oh no, I have the climbing speed trousers. That's the new ones I got.
I don't have those.
Okay, no. You what? Sorry.
I don't have those yet. I've got the climbing hat and chest, but no legs.
I don't have the chest. I only have the legs. I have the hat and the legs. That's it.
Interesting.
Interesting. So yeah, okay. So I have the warm doublet as well. That's it. And I went back to Haneto to make some Hatano village to cook some hot food, ramen. Yeah, some spicy ramen. And then from the lab, I kind of glowed. We had this conversation last time. I can't remember what it was. Glided. I did done a fly over from the lab in Hatano Village to the mountain, and I found 2 shrines there. One was very annoying because I had to. It was like behind like a broken wall that it has like open with a bomb. But I was quite high in the mountain and it was very, very low. But the shrine radar doesn't give a shit about that. It just, if you're near it on like a flat plane, it just thinks you're near it. So it took me a while to find it, and I was kind of scared because obviously I only had like 3 spicy food chili things. So that was a bit scary, but we managed it. It's fine. It's all good. And I did find it, and that was good. I found my first ever need to shield surf in the mountains. I didn't know this was a thing. Shield surfing has not arisen in the game as of yet. And I didn't know what to do. If I hadn't been streaming this at the time, and then I would not have known what to do. But there was a Korok Seed challenge where you stand on a stump and it sends out like a little circle, and you have to jump through the circle before the time runs out. And it did it whilst you're quite high up on the mountain, and I jumped on it, and it sent out the circle, and I was like, the timer was going down quite quickly, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get to where it needs me to get to by like gliding or anything. And then someone in this chat was like, well, you need to shield surf. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck shield surfing is. I've never heard of this before.
I didn't know the game tells you that. Is there like a guide to that in the game?
If it did, I missed it. But
so I know about it from literally just mashing buttons. I was like attacking something one time very early on in my playthrough. First time, I was like attacking something, and I did like a flip, and I landed on my shield mid battle. I was like, "What the hell was that?" So I tried it afterwards, and it's quite I mean, to be fair, like the shield surfing it breaks down your shield, like durability. So I don't think it's useful in any other situation than like a seed, really.
Okay.
So maybe that's why they don't
Maybe,
tell you.
maybe.
But still, it's still like a part of the game, isn't it?
It would be nice, especially if they're giving you challenges to do that require it to be used to complete them. Like, it'd be nice to know, like, even in
There's
those
the combat
moments.
trial. When you first get to Kekrik Village, the shrine there, you go in and it's like, this is how you parry, this is how you dodge and flurry attack. So it
But
teaches you those things.
yeah, but it doesn't teach me how to get on my shield and
Yeah,
circuit.
yeah.
It'd be nice if it did that. Either way, got the seed. Great. Awesome. And then the mountain gets higher and higher and higher, especially if you come from Hadno Village. You start quite low and you climb. Obviously, that's how mountains work. And when you finally manage to get to like not quite the peak, but near to the peak, you find not a shrine as in like a shrine, a challenge shrine, but like one of the prayer shrines, where you can like offer your orbs to get health and increases and stuff.
Yeah.
And also the mountain, even the top of the mountain is surrounded by a corrupt dragon.
Oh, okay.
Like, and this is the first time I'm meeting a dragon in this game. I didn't even know there were fucking dragons in this game. This dragon is huge.
There's a couple, but
it's huge.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking massive.
That's corrupted by like Ganon.
Yeah. And when you approach the shrine's like, oh, this dragon used to like give faith or something, give everyone hope or something in Hyrule, but since Ganon came, it's been corrupted and it hasn't been able to fly. Like, you have to help it out, basically. So I'm just like, okay, sure. How do I do that? It has like Ganon's eye corruption things all over it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, okay, cool. I've got arrows. I've got a bow. I know where this is going. So you fire an arrow into one of the eyes. It's got like, I think it's got 4 of them. You fire an arrow into one of the eyes, and the second you take one of the eyes out, the dragon like gets up and takes off. And it's fucking huge, Leem. I don't understand. Like, it's like one of the biggest things I've ever seen in a video game that I've had to interact with, kind of thing. So it takes off. It goes a bit higher up the mountain, so you go to the very peak of the mountain, and then you get like air gusts that lift you up. And so it lifts you up above the dragon. You can then fire the eyes, because the eyes are on like the back of the dragon, so essentially on the top of it. So you have to get above it to fire. And then every time you take an eye out, it like travels, it like flies further down the mountain. So I'm literally, there's this kind of epic battle scene moment where I'm like in the air, gliding down, shooting arrows as like this huge dragon goes past. It's kind of fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
What kind of, because that's like a really big thing then. Because I've encountered dragons before, and I did in this episode myself, but not that one. And I'm assuming they're all the same size, because the one that I found was also massive. But the one that I found didn't have like a what is this even, like a story element? Because you're killing it, I guess.
Like a cutscene, something. I was purifying it. I want to point out, I was purifying the dragon. I wasn't killing it. I was helping, not hindering. Right. I think. Anyway, I also was that Pharos you came across, the big electricity dragon?
Yes.
I too came across him. Yes.
Okay.
And I'll talk about that in a moment, because that was quite funny. But yeah, for this one, you managed to hit all the heart, you hit all the eyes. You get taken back because you're basically gliding down the mountain as you're doing this. And you get taken back to the top once you've done it. And then the shrine thanks you and then tells you to shoot it in the face. I'm not even fucking kidding. It's like, to finish the purification, you need to shoot it in the face. And I was like, what the fuck? But you don't need to tell me twice to shoot a dragon in the face. So I fucking shot that asshole right in the face. And he dropped a scale, which I then put in a pool of water, and then that finished the purification ritual. And then that dragon I can't remember his name. His name was Narosh or something. I can't remember. But then he gets up and flies off, like all purified and healthy. And then once you've done all that, a shrine appears in the mountain behind the like the goddess shrine. An actual shrine appears. Which doesn't also, I've found that even if there are hidden shrines, your shrine thing still goes off to let you know that there's a shrine there, even if you have to like open up a wall or something to find it. This one, I was doing this, didn't realize that it would be like the reward would be a shrine at all. because there was no indication that there was a shrine or anything, and the wall that it was behind was quite a not an obvious wall at all. Like it broke down, and then I didn't expect there to be a shrine there.
I think if they're like hidden underground and you have to do something to raise them up, I think those ones don't actually have an indicator on the map, because I had one as well. I had a couple actually, but one notable one from this week at least that had the same thing.
Okay.
So there are some that are quite easy to miss or like pass by, because there's like a puzzle or a riddle of sorts to do. That sounds fun though. I've got to go back then.
Do it. It was super fun. Super fun.
Okay.
And unexpected as well. Like I was just like I wanted to climb the mountain because it was a mountain. I was like, I want to get to the top of the mountain and see what's at the top, and see if like I can like see loads of really cool shit from the top of the mountain, kind of thing. And then found the dragon. It was kind of awesome, to be honest.
Wait, so is the dragon friendly? Because this is what I don't understand. Because Farosh sort of just glides around.
Yeah.
They don't seem like aggressive, but also Farosh did kill me.
Same. Snaps. So, I mean, Farosh didn't kill me, but Farosh, when I saw Farosh, I assume. So, okay, what I had in my head was that the dragon I did, despite the fact it doesn't tell you to go there, I think it was a bit of a tutorial about how you're supposed to go about dragons. Like, you're supposed to get above them, shoot them from above, and when you shoot them, it knocks scales off. I think that's what it was trying to teach me, essentially. So that was great. But when I got to Farosh, I tried doing the same. I shot him. That didn't really happen. I got close to him, apparently got too close, and I got zapped out of the sky. I lost my stamina, fell in a river, and then I couldn't swim because I had no stamina, and then I drowned.
Same.
Yeah.
Because like his body's electrified, so if you get too close to his body, you die. He also sends out like shock balls as well.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few that can zap you. And also, I feel like electric damage does so much damage in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Even the bats, the electric bats, can like one shot you almost.
Those little bats?
They're very strong. They're bastards, yeah.
They are fucking assholes. I hate them so much. Yeah, those bats can go do one for sure. But yeah, that was the mountain. I just wanted to tell that story because I thought it was a pretty cool story, and it was a nice little side thing to do that we hadn't planned for, essentially.
Apart from that mountain, was there any other backtracking you did at all?
Or
like anything notable, rather?
I did go to a shrine in the Kakariko village map area, the Dueling Peaks Tower. There was a shrine I missed that was quite south. And I only realized it was there was because whilst I was exploring the Farron Tower area, I got a ping on my radar to say there was a shrine nearby. And I was like, oh, there's a shrine in this area that I haven't found. And it was actually just like right at the bottom of the area before. So that was technically a backtrack, I suppose. But outside of that, no backtracking. I say no backtracking. The mountain was a big backtrack that took me a good couple of hours to like complete.
Okay.
But yeah.
I did quite a lot of backtracking. Yeah,
you did?
Quite a lot.
Okay, go on then. What'd you do?
Only because like I've been really enjoying playing it. So I've been trying to like find side quests to do because I never really did them before. Because the side quest like symbol for questing, the little red symbol, is so small, I always just avoided them, didn't bother looking for them. So I did a couple of quests in the elephant water area. What's it called? Oh my god, Azora.
Yeah.
Did a couple there, nothing of too much note. There was one where I had to follow someone's love letter down a river, and keeping it safe while breaking up barriers in the way to make sure that the love letter like flowed down the river, basically.
Like an actual love letter, like in a bottle or something?
It was like in a barrel. It took forever. It was actually kind of boring, honestly. But I got halfway through and I was like, well, I'm determined now.
Why couldn't you just take the letter to like whoever it needs to go to?
This is the weird part. Okay, so the person who sends down the love letter says they can't leave the area because their parents will get mad.
Right.
So they're obviously a child.
Weird, but okay.
Yeah, it gets weirder. Um,
Okay.
so this small fish throws down the barrel. I follow it,
Oh, it's a fish as
and
well. It's a Zora.
it's
Zora,
a
yeah.
Zora, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And it arrives in like a little bay area where there's a fairly tall human, I presume an adult male, and it's like, oh, I've been talking to this person via letters. I'm
Oh
too scared to
no. No, no, no,
I'm
no,
too scared
no.
to meet them in person because I told them I'm like really muscly. This is what he says. Um, and he asks if it's hard to get to Zora, and I'm like, it's easy, whatever. So he disappears, and then the quest says, um, I can go to Zora to like see what happens, basically.
Oh
So
no.
I traveled there, and they're like in love, but it's obviously a kid. I'm really confused by it because I don't know whether or not like I read it wrong and it's not a child. But like it was a very small fish, and the fish can be like very big, can't they? Like they can be like
They
adult-sized fish.
can.
And I don't know whether or not the person who received the letter is actually not an adult. I don't know. I found the whole thing very strange.
We
They
do
gave
know,
me,
not that I think it's an excuse, but we do know that the Zoras live for like hundreds of years.
yeah, it just gave
But
off like strange sort of vibes that I
yeah,
wasn't prepared for.
I don't think that's an explanation, as in like a viable explanation for what has actually happened. But that sounds dodgy as fuck.
But they gave me a reward at least.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine then.
300 rupees. That's
300
quite nice.
rupees.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, damn. I should have done that
To be
quest.
fair though, it took forever. Oh my God, because it was like a slow flowing river, and it was quite long too. Anyway, I also did something back at Kakariko Village. I did a bunch of side quests there,
Okay.
and then after side quests, I was like, oh, I've not spoken to Pura for a while since I killed the elephant.
Well, you
So I
you
went
didn't get
into
your stuff upgraded, did you? First time round.
oh
Like,
the oh sorry, I mean Imp, not Pura, Impa.
oh, okay.
I went to see Impa at the Kakariko Village,
Okay.
who gave us the quest to begin with for
Yes.
the beasts.
Yes.
Um, by the way, sidetrack. I did get the stuff upgraded in the end.
Okay, nice.
I did do that. Yeah. Um, so I went to go and see Impa after my side quests in the village, and there was a quest in her house, but not from her, from someone else who's crying like on the ground. And
Awkward.
the ball in her room had been missing.
I knew
It
it.
had been
I knew it.
taken.
I fucking knew something was happening with that fucking ball.
I had never done this before either. I don't know what triggered it, but the ball had gone. So I started the dialogue. Someone had stolen it. She mentioned somebody, or like being like suspicious people at nighttime.
Right.
So I waited till nighttime, and one of the guards started walking away from their post, and I followed the guard. They were like acting suspicious by turning around and looking around. Um, Followed them up kind of near the Great Fairy area near the village.
Was there like a platform with a ball to go in?
Yeah.
This is what I found earlier, and I was like, the only ball nearby that I can find is the one in Impa's house.
In the house. Yeah. So this guy was like, he got there, and then he was like, show yourself, because I had to like sneak behind him. And he was like a good person, but somebody appeared, and it was like a member of the Yiga clan, who was like threatening him basically.
Right.
This guy who was working for the village now, he used to be a part of the clan, but left the clan because he had a family, a wife and a kid. And when he left, it gets quite deep. They killed his wife.
Oh god.
They say that in the game, which I've never really like heard of dialogue in that in Zelda.
No.
But he says that they did that to his family.
The Yiga clan killed his wife.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was like still working for the clan whilst working in the village so that he could protect his child. But he decided enough was enough, and he was to like stand against them basically. And that's why we're here. That clan person who was in the village too stole the orb, and he was trying to like stand against them. So we fight the Eagle Clan member who is quite strong. He attacks and like deals like 7 hearts of damage. It's like a lot.
What? Okay.
Yeah. Killed him, got the orb, and got a new shrine in the village. But I felt very, very like accomplished because that ball in her house had always like confused me from like years ago. I never knew it was a thing.
Yeah.
That platform that you had found, I had never found that platform even up until starting that quest.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that was literally one of the first things. Like in the very first episode, I came across it. Like, well,
Right.
second episode because we only explored Kakariko Village in the second episode. And I was like, I know where the ball is. The ball is in Imba's house. And every time I tried to touch it, she was like, no, it's sacred, go away. So I was like, okay, I'll leave it alone. And I feel, even though I haven't done it, I feel personally vindicated that I knew that was like,
yeah.
I was like, that ball goes in there. I don't know how it does. I don't know how it happens. Because I was trying to go back at night when like Impa was asleep, to see if I could steal it while she was asleep.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I know.
Stealing from an old woman.
I know.
Terrible.
While she was asleep as well. So I was convinced, and I'm glad. I knew it. I knew it.
Apart from that, I also went to the other village. Nothing too notable, apart from the fact that you can own a house, which I did know about already.
Wait, sorry, what?
Yeah, but I kind of forgot about it.
Wait, is this what village is this in? Lurelin village?
This is the village where it's close to the laboratory.
Oh, Hadno village. You can own a house?
Yeah, I was just exploring because I wanted to see if any characters had quest symbols on their head. And so I just wandered around house to house, and I found this house that was empty, and people were like hammering it with hammers. And
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Hammering with hammers and not, I don't know.
And I spoke to one, and he was like, "We've been told to demolish it because it's empty. No one's buying it." And then there was someone else nearby who I could speak to with a quest symbol, and they were like, "I'll sell it for 50,000 rupees."
50,000 rupees.
I said no, and then suddenly they said, "Okay, well, I'll do it cheaper for you." They said 3,000 rupees.
That's quite.
Which is still a lot.
It's quite a discount, though.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, if only it was like that in real life. But they said 3,000 rupees plus also give me 30 bundles of wood.
That's easy.
Which is easy enough.
Yeah.
But so far I haven't progressed with that because at that point I had just shy of 3,000.
Right.
And I thought I can come back there at some point anyway. I have done that before. I've done the house thing before, but I don't remember why they're useful. I can't think of why they are useful.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a cute part of the game.
Real estate is expensive, yes.
It is, yeah.
The actual fantasy, yeah. Being told that you can knock off 97% of your house price would be very nice, IRL.
It would, yeah.
Alas, that's not the world we live in.
But no, it's been fun. Those things.
Yeah, I want to know what a house is useful for. I mean, I'll figure it out. I don't want to know right now. Don't tell me. But like, that sounds fun. I did of all the things available to do in this game, I didn't think that like a housing system would be one of them for some reason. I don't know why, but I didn't.
I genuinely don't remember. It might be quite basic. It might just be like a way to spend your money. Because so far, like, you don't really need to spend money, do you? There's no real...
No.
Apart from arrows, I guess.
Which I might start spending my money on, to be perfectly honest. That being said, I don't know if you found her, but I found a new fairy in this leg as well.
I did too, yeah.
A new great fairy. And I have ignored her once again because she wants 1,000 rupees.
Oh, I paid her.
No, I'm not giving these bitches my
curious.
money. I'm not giving these asshole fairies who are stuck in their fucking little flowers who can go out and earn their own money. No, they can get their own cash. I'm not giving them my cash.
I'll save the trouble. Don't give her money.
Okay. Is it just another upgrade thing?
No, it's different. This one, it's about horses. She doesn't look like a normal like fairy. She's like almost like a marionette sort of.
Oh.
I don't know. It's not like human.
Like a puppet?
Sort of, yeah, like a puppet, yeah. But
Okay.
essentially, she says that she can help out if your horse like passes away or you want to summon it or whatever. You can give her
Right.
money to summon horses, but I don't want that.
Hard pass.
I barely use horses at all in the game, so
Yeah. No, hard pass. Not interested in that. Not interested in that at all.
yeah, don't do it.
I'm glad I didn't then, because yeah, as I said, 1,000 rupees. We'll do our check at the end, but you'll know I'm not. This is still too much cash for me at the moment. But I am very tempted to start spending my monies on arrows. I've started to realize as well that the shops, there aren't set prices across the world in the shops. I didn't realize this. Because sometimes I'll go up and people are like, oh, I want like five arrows for like 40 rupees. I'm like, oh, maybe not. And then I went to a shop the other day and they wanted 35 rupees for 10 arrows. And I was like, that is like a no-brainer. Yes, please. So I bought those ones. But I need arrows. I need arrows, Leem. I don't know how many you've got at the moment. You've probably got hundreds, but I'm using them far too much.
Thousands. I'm joking,
Thousands,
really.
literally millions. I need more fucking arrows. It's a sad state of affairs when I can't use my bow and arrow.
No, I feel that the bow is very, very fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I killed I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one it was, but I killed a Lionel that dropped a 5-shot bow.
What, in this leg?
Yeah.
Where?
At some point, it was at some point in this leg, or it must have been earlier on. At some backtracking moment, I'm not sure where, but I got a 5-shot bow.
5-shot bow. I want that.
Yeah.
I want that.
And I'm scared to use them because they're so like unique. Like
they are, yeah. I've got 2 Lionel bows still that I haven't touched. Literally haven't touched.
Just checking. I've got 2 that are 3 shots, and then 1 that is 5-shot.
Nice.
5-shot burst.
Nice.
Quite sexy, yeah.
Speaking of arrows, I got my first ancient arrow.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
I was just given it randomly by some peddler who was walking down a road. I spoke to him and he was like, "Oh my god, you're my favorite customer." I don't think I've ever spoken to this person before in my life. But he was like, "I love you," and he gave me an ancient arrow. And then he was like, "This can." I think the description says it like commits to anyone to oblivion if they're hit by it, which seems. Yeah, that seems pretty like what the fuck. But yeah, so I've kept it. I only have one. And literally, it says I'm. Wait, where's the
I kind of love that.
Yeah,
dramatic.
Ancient arrow.
Oh my god, it does.
What does it say? Where is it?
To be struck with one is to be consigned to oblivion in an instant. It deals devastating damage, even against guardians.
There you go.
From what I remember, they're like rare.
It sounds fucking rare.
I'm not sure if there's a way to buy them. I don't know, but I think they're particularly strong against guardians. You should save them. I think.
I'm not gonna use them on anything.
Use it a goblin. Sure. Yeah.
I'll go back to like the tutorial plateau.
The basic ones. Yeah.
Shoot like a level 1 goblin. Speaking of guardians, did you find the woman on the beach who's hugging an orb? Speaking of orbs as well.
No.
Okay, so there's a shrine. Well, I think it's a shrine. I don't know, but it's a shrine in the south part of the lake tower area. And it's like I followed the coastline quite a lot because it was, as we were saying, a little bit different, a little bit beachy. And she's lying there and she's holding onto this orb and she's talking to the orb as if it's an egg. And she's convinced that something's going to hatch from it. And she's there to be its mother. And she keeps talking to it like, "Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm going to be here when you hatch. You're going to be beautiful." Very off-putting. And the more we talk about the dialogue in this game, the more I'm a little bit off-put by the entire thing. But she was hovering over this egg. And she says that she loves Guardian and Guardian type things, which makes sense because the orb is kind of like old Guardian tech. And she says, I will let go of the orb if someone can show me drawings of 3 different types of guardians to like sate my need for guardian porn. I don't know. She's really weird. And she asks,
some sort of fetish.
Yeah, she asks for 3. She asks for one that fires lasers, like a huge one that fires lasers, which I've seen and taken a picture of. She asks for a combat one, which I've seen and taken a picture of now. And the other one she asks for is a flying guardian, and I have not seen flying guardians yet. And the idea of flying guardians makes me a little bit scared.
I won't say anything, but interesting that she asked for those.
Yeah. So that's what she's asked for. So at some point, I feel like I'm going to find a flying guardian. I don't know where I'm going to find them. However, I'm a little bit scared.
I forgot about those as well, and that's gonna be a fun time. Would be yeah.
Great. Maybe that's when I'll start using my ancient arrows. Lake Tower area. Is there anything else you did there? You mentioned the Hyrule Bridge. I didn't really go over the Hyrule Bridge. There was a shrine next to the Hyrule Bridge. That's all I did. I didn't actually go over the bridge itself.
There was a shrine on the island in the water next to the bridge.
Yep.
Did that one.
Did that one too.
On the bridge itself, I found a Korok seed in like the center, like in the middle of the bridge. There was like an old
missed that.
Broken fountain or something. Some goblins. I got one of those.
Okay.
But this area was mainly just Korok seeds. I'm looking at my map. Yeah, it was just Korok seeds I got there. Nothing of too much importance.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Same. It was just a bit of an explorative zone for me.
Yeah. I killed my first like skeleton Hinox, which is called a Stalnox.
Didn't even see one.
One of those, same as regular ones, really. Nothing.
Do they only appear at night?
No, this was daytime, like full daytime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Huh. But apart from that, a relatively not boring, but like empty area, I guess.
Yeah. I didn't do much. I'm just looking over my notes again. Yeah, no, I really didn't do much in this area apart from just I grabbed the shrines, grabbed the tower. The towers. Once you got to the Farron Tower, there was a very clear path of towers. You could see from the Farron Tower like the next 2 towers that we were going for, as well as a bunch of shrines. So that was kind of my journey. I was just like, well, this is like that's a straight line journey kind of thing. I'll just head in that direction. And obviously,
I kind of like lined up, aren't they?
Yeah, quite handily. And I did like peter off here and there and do little bits and bobs. But yeah, the lining up was quite nice. So I just run through and just grabbed the shrines that I could see. But yeah, there was nothing of note, I feel, in the Lake Tower area, apart from I think the fairy was there. I think she was in the Lake Tower area, but again, I didn't chat to her. I didn't want her. I have marked her on the map so I can go back and grab her maybe, but it sounds like it's not. I'm not using horses at all, like in this game.
I don't think you need to.
No.
I really enjoy the. I mean, the map is huge, but I just love traversing it and just walking around and just exploring. I love it so much. So for me, I would have missed so much if I used a horse.
Absolutely. And I feel as well, like, you have to climb a lot. And the second you've climbed one wall, your horse is useless because it can't climb up with you. Yeah. So there's really not much point of having one.
No. If it was like Elden Ring style, where you could summon your horse, that would be very different.
Yeah.
But given it's not, it's not worth it for me, at least.
I agree. So then we move into Gerudo, the Gerudo Desert. I came to the Gerudo Desert from the south area. Like there was a shrine called the Ishto So Shrine, and I got that shrine that was like southwest of the Lake Tower area, and then so I just carried on climbing into the next area, which means the first thing I fell upon was the huge ass fucking labyrinth that is there. Did you see that / do it? I haven't done it because it seemed really confusing.
I did it.
Okay. Maybe we can talk about that next episode because I do want to try it. But as I was floating over, I was like, I saw it from a bit of a distance. And I was like, oh, it's the shrine. It's like the labyrinth. And as I got closer and closer, it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then by the time I was there, I was like, this is huge. Like, what the hell?
It's pretty big. And I will say, I think it's actually potentially the smallest of the 3.
There are 3. Okay, because we have put a labyrinth on the plan, but that one was the north, like way in the northeast, right?
Yeah, that's like episode 9, I think.
Yeah.
Or 8.
I didn't realize there was 3 of them. So there's that one. There's the one. Where's the other one? Where's the third one?
The third one is in the north. We're doing that on episode 7.
Right.
It's like a diamond shape to the north, the northwest of the Great Hyrule Forest.
Oh, yeah. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, there's a shrine called Shah Gemma Shrine. Nice.
Oh.
Okay, sure. Okay, yeah, we'll go back and
Um,
do that one.
but the shrine itself, sorry, the labyrinth itself, it unlocks a shrine when you've done it, like a teleport shrine.
Mm-hmm.
This one isn't actually too bad. It's just wandering around and finding the entrance basically to the shrine. Um, it's just there's no enemies really. It's just
Oh,
very just
okay. Okay.
plod along. There's some like corruption there to climb around, and some items to pick up. And the shrine itself gives you the first piece of the barbarian set, which is the
Ooh, okay.
attack bonus set. So
Nice.
this one gives like the chest piece for it.
Nice.
Um, but yeah. Apart from the labyrinth, again, I feel like I didn't really experience too much in the area here because the tower, the Wasteland Tower, unlocks like a bunch of the desert. Um, so obviously I can't enter the desert yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I was very similar. I went to the tower, I opened it up, I saw it showed me everything, and I was like, okay, awesome. And so I tried to glide. You can see Gerudo Town from the top of the tower, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll just glide in that direction. As you're gliding, there are quite a lot of shrines that you can see from the top. So I kind of tagged them and then started gliding down, and then had to about turn very quickly because I started dying due to heat. And I was like, okay, I'm clearly not ready for this. So I had to turn around. There was a couple of shrines like in the lower parts of the Gerudo Desert that I was able to get to. A lot of climbing in this place. Like there's a lot of verticality here, which
yeah, there
is
is. Yeah.
kind of frustrating because even with my 2 bars of stamina, I'm still not a great climber. Like especially for walls that size. It took a
Yeah.
lot of like strategic jumping off of walls and resting in like on like slightly
Yeah. Or
horizontal
like the slanted
platens. Yeah,
parts.
exactly. To get to the top
Yeah.
of like to get to where the Wasteland Tower is. There's also a very suspiciously large empty platform next to the tower. I don't know if you saw that. Like
um
right next to the tower, there is like it's connected by a bridge, and then like on the other side, I ran over the
yeah,
bridge,
yeah,
and there's just
yeah.
it's just big and empty. I assume that's potentially where the Divine Beast is going to end up. Because we had the same thing where
Um
we found a big slab of water with nothing in it, and then that's where the
hmm.
Divine Beast ended up. So I have a
Oh yeah,
suspicion
fair point.
that
Yeah,
that's where the Divine
yeah.
Beast is going to end up. But that's just a guess. I don't know
Yeah, maybe.
because it was very big and very empty, and I was like, okay, maybe it's like empty like the other planes where there's something secret here and I'm not seeing. And I had a good look around, like literally could not find anything on there. So I was like, okay, I think this is for something else later. You
Golf
can see
camel.
the Divine Beast as well from the tower. We can see the Camel Divine Beast. He's in a sandstorm.
Yeah, march
Not
around.
Darude, unfortunately, but he is munching around in a
Not
sandstorm.
that.
Not that. Yeah, sorry, I had to make the joke. So I couldn't get close to him because he's in the desert, which is too hot for me to get to at the moment. So I need to try and. I assume there's some heat resistant outfit out there. I assume I have to go make some cool meals to survive the desert. I assume that it's the same thing as staying
Maybe,
in the
I don't
mountain.
know.
But yeah, I'll have to figure that one out. Um, but that's kind of where my adventure came to an end.
Yeah, same for me. Yep.
Okay.
Just lots of hours. I actually spent a lot of hours just exploring
Yeah, it was a good
in
one. It
my
was a good one
evenings.
for
It's been really nice.
it was a good one for explorative stuff.
Also, this was a very good one to get like lots of good food. I'm not sure if you noticed in the rainforest area there are durian fruits.
So there was one area that had loads of. Oh, this was something I wanted to mention. There was. They do not try and hold back on the slabs covering empty holes in this one, and you have to like time stasis the slabs and knock them off. I wasted so many weapons on like knocking stone fucking slabs off of things, only to find out there was like a mushroom under there, which was very frustrating.
Okay, so in future, don't use weapons. You know
Okay.
those octopus things in the water that shoot rocks?
Yes.
that drop octo balloons. You can pick those up in your hand and drop them on the slabs to raise them up.
Shit.
Yeah.
I've got loads of them as well.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing, and I was streaming it, and someone said, "What are you doing?
What's your problem? What the fuck?
What are you doing?" So I've managed to keep a lot of weapons. Actually, I've got some good weapons right now.
Okay.
I'm ready for like some combat. But the durian fruits, I'm not sure if you noticed, this is a little bit of a tip as well that I learned on this playthrough, is if an item has hearty in the name, you can cook it by itself for like maximum healing of hearts plus extra hearts.
Oh,
so
okay.
no other things are required. So for durians, it says like it's if you eat it raw, it gives 4 hearts. If you cook it, just one of them, it gives max hearts plus 4 extra.
Okay.
So I think the hearts on the description are the indication of how many extra they give, and they stack. So if you cook 5 durians, you get plus 20.
Oh shit. Okay.
Like a lot. So I explored that area like quite a lot just to get a bunch of durians. So I'm like stacked with food right now. I've got loads.
Okay. I did pick up a lot of the hearty durians, but I haven't used them or cooked them or anything. So
okay. Cook them by themselves, or like don't cook them with other things.
Just
cook
stack
them
them
either on their own or stack. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. I shall do
Same
that.
with the radishes too. If you have like big radishes, same sort of thing.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do some cooking then at some point and have a good look at that. Okay, cool. Awesome. Shall we do a comparison?
Do it.
Let's do
fucking do it.
So for anyone who might be new, one, don't start on episode 4 of a podcast. That's weird. But also,
yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing here? We also do a comparison at the end of each of the podcasts just to see shrines and Korok seeds and whatnot. So far, I have been absolutely obliterated by Leem, and I assume today is going to be absolutely no different. But I do have my picture here ready to go.
Me too. I'm ready.
Okay. Let's start with hearts. How many hearts do you have?
Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. Nice. I have 7. I have 7 hearts now. Yeah.
Okay. With 2 stamina wheels still, I assume.
Yep, 2 stamina wheels. How many orbs do you have on your person?
0.
I've got 3 at the moment.
Okay.
So I've got to find one more shrine and I can get another one of those hearts. How many shrines overall?
40.
40. I'm 35. I'm not too far off.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time like focusing on trying to find shrines this time around. I was like,
yeah,
I just want to.
The extra hearts are so useful. Like,
yeah. And the 2 stamina wheels are doing me gorgeous. Like, I haven't found really anything. Even like jumping off of like the highest tower and gliding down to something. Like the 2 stamina wheels are like treating me plenty. So
yeah, same. I feel quite happy, especially because you can craft food as well that gives you extra stamina if you need it. So yeah.
Korok seeds, go on. I'll go first. I'll go first. I've got 35.
Okay. Do you want to take a wild guess?
I'm gonna go with 109.
More. I've got 145.
145. The fuck?
Yeah. 145. Yeah.
You have over 100 more Korok seeds. You have 110 more Korok seeds than I do. This is actually a little bit embarrassing. I don't want to use a guide, but I might have to do a bit of backtracking with a guide to find some of these Korok seeds because I'm clearly not looking at what I need to be looking at to find them. So I might do an area. I'm tempted to do an area with a guide and just see.
To be fair though, you don't need them right now.
I don't know, but we're going to get to Hetsu and you're going to be like, okay, I'm now kitted out with like 700 weapons and like 4,000 bows. And I'm going to be like, I have 1 and I'm struggling. So I have a feeling that maybe I might just have a Korok guide up for like the Dueling Peaks area or something, just so I can go around and have a proper look at how to find them and then use that knowledge in the other areas kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's embarrassing. I know that you're going to kill me on this one as well. Money. I've got 1,615 rupees.
3,415.
Okay, we're getting money at the same rate. I feel, in the sense that you're not
And I spent a
stealing
thousand
away.
on the
Oh wait,
fairy
no
as
shit, you
well.
did. Yeah, no, I didn't spend any money. I spent 200 rupees on arrows. That's where a lot of my money went to, because I just keep wanting to use arrows constantly. Well, there you go. I am happy that I'm not as far behind in shrines as I thought I was. That's
I mean, to be fair, the shrines are the most important thing, really.
Yeah,
like...
this is what I'm thinking. Like the Korok seeds, sure. I've still got like, I think I have like 20 something Korok seeds that I need to use still. So when we finally get back to Hetsu, I'm feeling like I'm going to have enough to like unlock a bunch of shit. But
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe next time.
Well, next week is going to be an interesting one anyway.
Why? What's that? Why will next week be interesting?
Just because of the area. This area is not terrible, but I find it enjoyable. I quite like it, but I know that a lot of people struggle with the camel, so this is going to be potentially an interesting one.
Okay.
But who knows? You might find this easier than the elephant potentially. Who knows?
Maybe
everyone's
we'll
different.
Have to see. Yeah. So as Leem said, for episode 5, next episode we'll be doing the divine beast camel. I'm sure it has a name. I don't know what it is. And
Naboris.
There we go. That we'll be doing that, and then we'll also be doing the Yiga clan hideout. So you've got backstory here. You've got some asshole that you've already killed. This is going to be brand new for me. I don't know anything about the Yiga clan just yet. And also, I suppose we'll be getting into Gerudo town too, because we haven't done that yet. Because we need to figure out a way to get through the desert. So, we'll be doing that too.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's it for episode 4. Anything else? Anything else that's burning on your mind that you want to say before we close off?
No, not that I can think of. No.
Brilliant. No. Same. I'm just looking through my notes really quickly. Oh, I got some rubber thighs. That kind of made me laugh. I got that from. I got rubber thighs, rubber trousers, rubber thigh. I think they're called rubber thighs from the electric shrine that I did. It gave me rubber thighs, which give me shock resistance. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I got them. That was fun. I had a couple shrines that had like the where you have to move your controller to complete the puzzles. Which sure, fine, that's not a problem. One of the issues I have with that is that when sometimes you have to turn your controller in such a position that to confirm the button is like underneath your controller and it's really hard. Like you have to move the controller to find the button. That seems to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a bad design that.
And I did have one question for you as well. Which may be deep and maybe other people want to answer as well. I'm not entirely sure. When you time stop something, does that really stop gravity affecting it? Like, is that how physics works?
No.
You see, a lot of the shrines kind of...
I wouldn't think so. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I wouldn't think it would, right?
This is what I'm saying. But a lot of the shrines in the game use that mentality that if you time stop something... I found a shrine that had lots of seesaws in it, and I had to time stop the seesaw in order to be able to climb up it. But surely, even if it stopped in time, me putting my weight on the other side of the seesaw will still make it drop, right?
I would have thought so, yeah.
I don't know.
Although, now that I think about it, would it?
I don't know. Like, how do time and space interact? Does time... Are they separate entities, or does time affect space, and does space affect time? I don't know.
These are questions that I genuinely am interested in, but I will never know. My brain... It's like when you start thinking about space, and you start thinking about the size of space, it's interesting,
I don't like
but
doing that.
I love it. It terrifies me, but I love it.
My brain, I very regularly start to realize just how small and insignificant I am in the real scale of things. Like I am
it gets very
less
deep.
than a fucking ant. Yeah. And I'm just like, no, I'm not interested. I can't be thinking about that too much.
But then you think to Gambit, you're Gambit's whole world, right?
I am, bless him. Even if he hates me most times. Don't you, baby? Yes, you do. Cool, awesome. Well, Leem, thank you so much for joining me again. I appreciate it. Next episode, episode 5, will be the halfway mark in our adventure. We'll be taking on our second divine beast, and so I'm very, very much looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm very excited.
Yeah. If you have been listening to this, thank you so much. I appreciate it. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're now on YouTube. So if you wanna watch this, then feel free to go and watch it on YouTube. We are 8-bit by bit over there. So go look for the channel, subscribe, like, comment, rate. Donate. No, don't do that. That's silly. I'm just trying to think of other things that you can do on YouTube. Do all that good stuff. We're also on all podcasting platforms, and we stream on Twitch as well, both separately. So I have a channel and Leem has a channel. You can find us both with our usernames Leem and Watermelon underneath in descriptions. But we also record the episodes on Twitch every Sunday. So they come out, well, we record it a good couple of days before the episodes actually come out. So feel free to come and watch us there as well. And if you're on a podcast platform that allows rating, then please feel free to give us some stars. I'd really appreciate that. And as Liam always says, it's free to do. So
it's free, especially like Spotify. I think I tried it on like the app on the computer. Didn't work.
No, I have to do it on my phone. Yeah, you have to do it on your phone.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
if you're on the app on your phone, then do it. If not, then I can't help you. I'm sorry. You're on your own. You're on your own. Liam, again, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And thank you for all your insight. And we'll see you again next week for episode 5.
Yep, absolutely. See you next week.
Awesome. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, all.